Alrighty. Let's sit on this side real quick. Alright, so the first question is, tell me who you are without telling me what you do, basically.
That's interesting. You want me to say my name?
If you want to.
Hmm?
If you want
Okay.
to. Yeah.
My name is Brittney Janae. Janae is actually my middle name. People think it's my last name, but it's absolutely not. So I go by Brittney Janae, and I'm from St. Louis. So I'm just honestly a creative. I love, in every aspect, not like I love skating, I love tennis, I love learning and being active and having fun and living life. And I'm just a helper, I'm a giver, and that's me.
Out of all, I know you listed the different activities and things you do. Out of all of them, which would you say is like the top two that bring you the most fulfillment and joy?
Outside of like my career,
Yeah.
I love skating. I've been skating since high school. And it's interesting because I feel like me and my friend were like forward thinking in how we got into it. It was one of those things where we were like, when we get older, we're not going to want to go to clubs, so what are we going to be able to do to pass time? So we were like, oh, let's skate. So we literally started skating, and from that time, I've been in it. So it's crazy, but it's kind of like a release. I don't have to go and like feel like I'm working. I just kind of be in my own little world when I'm doing it. And so it definitely is like a release for me with just like all life's problems. I never have my phone on me. So I don't get messages. I don't get calls. I'm like there, and it's kind of like life kind of stops in this arena. So I think that would be like the top for me, honestly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so, like, going off the thing of finding a thing that makes you to be able to connect with yourself, is that like that's like the number one thing that when things are going crazy in life for you, where you're just like, let me go skating, and it just helps you, like you said, the release, but then also helps you to channel or figure out the direction you need to go in certain situations?
Yeah, honestly, there's been times where I'm like, I've been busy all week and I did not get a chance to skate, or like I'm going through a lot and I'm just like, I feel like I'm in the house so much, I need to go skate. Like that's literally what comes out of my mind and my head. I'm like, and my friends, they'll say it too. They'll be like, you haven't skated. You just go and skate, go have fun. Like they know that it's like bigger than just like skating for me. It's like, it's kind of like got me through like a lot, especially when I'm like stressed and I'm just like, I need to get out. But for me, it's not like I need to get out and go to the beach. I need to get. It's like no, I need to get out, skate, because it's also like it's like when people are like I need to go to the gym. When people are like you're stressed, and they go to the gym and like they kind of like get out of that mindset. That's kind of what skating is for me. So I it's like one of those things where sometimes I don't get to do it because I get so busy. But I know when I haven't done it in a long time, I can feel it. Yeah.
And has that always been, because it definitely seemed like an amazing, healthy outlet for you, is that how in the past you would normally handle stressful situations, or was there like a point of time where you realized the connection, like, hey, when I do this, then this happens and it makes this situation easier?
Should we wait on playing?
Sure, we go,
Helicopter. Let me see. I feel like when I think about it now, yes. It's kind of been like an scapegoat for me. I don't really journal. I'm trying to get into it, but I don't really write and journal. I don't really like read books like that. So, and like I do the gym because I have to do the gym, not because I really want to do the gym. So for me, it is one of those like things where for a while I didn't realize it, but it's always been like a thing for me to just be like, even when I didn't know anybody in LA and I just like found a skating rink. When I went to Texas to visit my sister, I went skating. Like it's one of those things where it's like, no matter where I'm at, I'm gonna find a rink and I'm gonna, like do it. And for those 3 hours, I'm gonna be in my own world. And like, so I think over time, now that I think about it, it has been for a very long time, like one of the ways where I can like figure life out. Yeah.
That's awesome. I guess, so my next question is, along going off the topic of using something to release, to find that to find that thing for you to release, it takes, like experiences and everything and stuff. So I guess my next question is, how do you, let me make sure I'm asking this correctly. How do you approach personal growth and self-reflection in your life?
Therapy. I just started therapy not too long ago, and it's helped me, but I also have friends who really are direct with me and real with me, and they let me know like what I need to know. So I think having like good people around you, like I have a core group of friends that I share things with, and I feel like they know me to a T outside of like what everybody else knows, and so they're always like, we know you, this is like this is how I feel. Sorry. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'll go and I'll talk to them, or I'll talk to my therapist, and I really do try to like think about what they're saying and put it into action, because I feel like people can say things and you can be like, I want to change, but if you don't figure out how to put it into action, it doesn't work. So that's like what it's been for me. Like I've actually been this year like really big on, I want to grow. I want to be like better. And so for me, it's been like, how do I put these things that people are telling me into action? So yeah, my friends and therapists, that's been like big for me. And I also like did this like self-help book, which was so dope because I learned a lot about my history. But things like that just like help a lot. Yeah.
She looked like that girl from the reading. Find out that she.
Huh?
The girl from the reading. The movie The Reading with Monique.
Oh no.
You look just like her. Oh my God, I almost got excited.
You can still get excited.
What y'all doing? What y'all talking about?
Oh, just family and
Family and
creating.
shit. Friends ain't shit. The only person that's just shit is yourself. Like that. Ain't nobody gonna make you happy unless you know yourself.
For sure.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody can love you the way you want to be loved unless you love yourself. Everybody's on some trip shit. But they need to worry about that Andres asphalt that's very happy because she fucking shit falling apart.
Yeah.
Everybody's synchronizing with the vibrations. Ooh. It ain't for the floor been called.
Nice.
Yeah.
I never really know what to say.
I don't either. I just let them,
I'm just like,
'cause
interesting.
Yeah, definitely. She has some wise words to share,
Definitely going, it's been some things she's been through.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Oh man, I was gonna ask a question based off something you said.
I was talking about,
personal growth and everything. So that leads me. Wait, were you?
Yeah, I was done.
Okay, I couldn't even remember. We all have versions of ourselves that we aspire to be. So this is like a loaded question, depending on how you feel after the first answer, I guess. Have you reached that person I know we're gonna always grow for sure, and so that's like just like a natural thing. But there's an image. A lot of times we have our image where like we say we want to be at this point. I see myself as this. Have you got there? Are you still going there? And if you haven't got there, how do you navigate the gap between where you are currently and where you want to be?
I feel like I'm like 90%.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like I feel like I'm at a place where a lot of things are coming that I prayed for.
Yeah.
I got the career, I'm still figuring things out with it, but I'm at a better place with it. But I like even when it comes to family, like I want to be better when it comes to that. I want to be more. Like, what's the word? I want to. I don't even know the word for it, but I just want to be like there. Like I want to make sure that like when things are happening, I'm there for. Which is why I even went to go see like my sister when she had she just adopted a baby. So I was like, I gotta be there.
Yeah.
Like I want to have those moments where I'm not letting career or whatever like interfere with me being present in life. So like my biggest thing now is just like I want to be more present with certain things. So I think that 10% that I have left is just like that, me being present. Family is big to me, friends are big to me, so I'm trying to learn like how do I like be stronger in my friendships and in my family. And then even my career, like I still don't really know where I want my end goal to be. I'm riding with whatever's given to me, you know. So I don't think there is like a defining final place that I want to be. I just know I want to be happy and healthy, and I want to be able to just like be at all that I can be, and like just feel like I've completed some sense of that. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people like have strict goals of like where they want to be, but for me, I always felt like my path was a little different. And I think even when I talk to people, like just helping people throughout every journey that I go on, all my processes, I mean, to me, that's already success. So I feel like I'm there. It's just like, you know, it's just like the perfectionism in me of like, I want to be a better person. Like I gotta, you know, but I feel like I'm definitely at like 95%.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And it definitely takes, like for some people, certain things take years. Some people, it's a lot quicker, but it's still amazing when people, talking to people and finding they're like, yeah, that version of myself, like I'm there and everything and stuff. And so I remember you touched on, because it's all a mindset too, for sure.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like a lot of times we feel like we have to be a certain place. But when I look back on everything that I've went through, I'm like, I'm actually, like, I'm doing well. Like, I'm not worried about a lot. Like, I'm just really taking it day by day. And for me, like I said, I think that where I've been and where I'm at, that's success. And of course, you look around and you see people like doing crazy, amazing things. But I think once I got content in like where I was, I think that's what like made me change my mindset.
That's awesome. So going on mindset, one thing you mentioned was going to the gym, even though, you know, you didn't, like, what was the process of getting your mindset to, because it's like everyone knows the gym, like the results are like worth it. It's just getting to the results and dealing with the pain and like waking up early, depending on your schedule. But like, what was your steps or how did you convince yourself that even though I may not like this, I'm going to do it?
For me, it was because my body was kind of breaking down. Like, you know, I hold cameras every day, which are like way bigger than me. And so one of the things was like, I need to have better endurance and I need to be able to have more strength. And like because like I'm very petite. And so I also didn't want my size to affect my work. But then I also noticed like I'm weak. Like in a sense, like I'm weak. Like it was hard for me walking up steps. Like people be like, you're so tiny, you're fit. That's not how it works. So like it got to a point where it was hard for me to like walk up steps without breathing heavy. And I used to play all the activities in high school. So once I noticed that and like my body, I was like, I need to fix it. And it's gonna take me fixing it. And I'm not the type that can just go to the gym and do all the things. So like for me, I had to get a trainer. I was like, that's the only way I'm gonna be able to be motivated and forced to go. Like I need somebody being like, I'm gonna like add pay if you miss a day, you know? Because then it's like, all right, let me get on there, let me go. So other than that, it's kind of hard to find that motivation of just like, let me get up and go to the gym, you know? And then once I did it and I saw results, I was like, okay, I can see myself doing this now more often. So yeah, it was a matter of like, I'm 34 and I want to live long and I want to be healthy and I want to be mobile. So I think that inspired me to be like, even though you don't want to do it, you kind of have to. It's not even like a want. You have to do it for the longevity of your body. So. Sure.
And that goes into the thing of consistency as well. And it's like, even from fitness to even what you do for work, a lot of people look at their goals or they see where other people are and they'll see maybe the viral aspect of, which is a whole other thing, like social media and viral like doesn't necessarily mean success. But a lot of times too, the people who are successful, they have been grinding and being consistent. So I guess and I guess like, you know, in your field, the filmmaking, and also we'll just throw photography in there as well. It's like a lot of people want to be, I want to be this person, I want to be Christopher Nolan or all these other people or, you know, and stuff. It's, I guess, what word of advice would you give people who are trying to get to that goal and not realizing the work they have to put in?
Well, I think one is you got to realize the work. Like, yes, social media, it looks like it's so easy, but it's not. I've actually been doing it since 2018. But consistency in doing the work, and then also not trying to feed into like the trends of things, but really like figuring out how to set yourself apart and like being okay with that. Like, what makes you unique, and like standing on that and like going really hard for it. Like, I think when I started doing it at that time, I was just doing something so different that I stood in it, and that was just me. And then now it's grown, and people who have followed me throughout the years, they're like, yeah, like this, they know me, they know my look, they know like who I am as a filmmaker. So like even now with all the trends happening, it's hard for me to adapt to that because I'm such a different, unique person, and I stand in it, and I think it's okay. So I think like learning like what makes you unique, but still also learning how to pivot and how to adapt. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. But like when you look at like Wes Anderson and Christopher Nolan, all these people, they have their look. People say his name and they know. It was a whole Instagram trend with Wes Anderson and his look. So if you're always following the trend and always trying to do things the social media way, like you won't really be able to stand out. So like as you're adapting to that, figure also out what makes you unique and how you can also add something to it to make it different, or just like find like your place in all of this. I think that's the biggest thing, because you can get caught up really trying to like do what everyone else is doing, and then sometimes the results aren't the same. So now you're doing what everyone else is doing, but your results don't look like theirs, and you're trying to figure out why. So I think just kind of like know that everybody's path is different, and you just gotta follow yours.
Okay. My next question is, and this may or may not relate, but it was, you mentioned how, you know, independent thinking and how you have your look and you don't adapt, you don't allow the trends to dictate who you are as a creative, but at the same time you pivot. Were you always that type of person where it's just like everybody's like going here and you're like, I'm going this way? Or did you, I guess per se, to fit into a group, put on a mask just to fit in just to go along with the group kind of thing and stuff?
I've always been different. It's hard for me to follow because I know that's not me. So then it feels like I'm trying too hard. And then most of the time, I don't even get the results that I feel like I want. But whenever I do what I feel like my heart is telling me to do, it always comes out right. So I've adapted, and like I'll see a trend and I'm like, how can I make this me? How can I like make it Brittney? And then by the time I'm done with that, it's completely different anyways. So yeah, it's hard for me to go with the trend because I also think that I've already built like this look and this brand for myself that I found my audience for that, you know? So it would be cool, of course, to like do what they're doing because I could easily get the numbers. But then like, is that gonna like make me me? You know what I mean? So I just don't never want to like, I never want to get rid of like who I am as a creator and my uniqueness, because I feel like that's what got me to where I'm at. But I also know with trends, you get the numbers, you get all the things. And so like me jumping on something, but being like, all right, maybe I won't do this kind of effect because it's kind of cheesy for me. But I will like show them like an effect that I know how to do and like do it in the same vibe. You know what I mean? So like just trying to find where I can pull for me and like figure out like what that looks like.
That's awesome. I have a few more questions. Oops, excuse me.
Our light just already shifted. Is
I
this
know,
still good for you?
Huh?
Is this still good for you?
Yeah. Oh snap! It shifts pretty.
I could scoot back.
Yeah, go for it. I guess one of my last two-ish questions is, what, where did it go? What was the moment that you've experienced the most self-discovery or self-realization for yourself, and what impact did it have on your life?
The moment I felt the most self-discovery, to be honest, it was out of my last relationship. Because outside of like filmmaking, like we have a whole life, right?
Yeah.
And personal life and where we want to be with that. And it wasn't until my last relationship that I think everything really changed for me of like wanting to be better, honestly. Because I feel like there was some things that I learned that I didn't know childhood played a part in. And after that relationship, which I was really sad it ended, and so after that, I was like, I need to figure this out. Like, why did this pop up? That sound like it's down. Oh, I was like, that sound like it's down there. So many noises. So yeah, after that, I was like, I gotta be better, and I gotta figure out why that like. How strong is my childhood a part of me right now, and it's affecting me? So like, what is that? And like that's why I got therapy, and I was like, I need to figure these things out, because I think in order to grow overall, I have to like figure out what the issues are to do it. So I think that is where I really like learn some things about myself, just overall, because I think anything that you learn in your personal affects every aspect of who you are. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. My final question is usually, a lot of times people always ask, like, what would you tell your younger self?
Yeah.
But what is something you want to possibly say to your future self?
So, I know what I'm telling my present self. And I feel like what I would tell my future self is that, good job. I feel like I've made some mistakes, you know, I've learned some things and I'm growing, but overall my heart has always been so pure, and just wanting to be a better person and helpful and a good person in this life where it's not a lot of good people. And so I would tell my future self, good job, because I feel like already in my present, I'm on the right track. And so I have no doubt that I'm not gonna get there in my future. So I would just say, good job. You did it. Through everything that you've been through, you did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's all I have. Thank you for sharing. Like, I don't know if there's any final words you want to say, or...
I mean, I say it all the time, honestly. I just feel like the way everything is going, everybody's just trying to find their footing. And I think always taking breaks from social and everything and just really being in tune with yourself is always going to be something that you can never get back. So do it as much as you can. Like, I take so many breaks from social media to really just kind of like get back into like me internally, what I like, what I don't, who am I creatively, who am I personally, and it takes you stepping away from like everything to do that. And you have to take those breaks. You have to step away to learn like who you really are without all the like pressure of society. So I would say do that, and like I think everybody will be okay. We all figuring out, life has been crazy. So with the strike and COVID, I just got COVID not too long ago. I didn't even know it was still a thing.
I didn't know.
And so I was down bad. And so with everything happening, people are like dying daily, right? You just gotta love life and just take it day by day.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I always end each interview with a high five. So thank you for your time and, you know, sharing. And I'm sure everything you share will inspire somebody who's...
It's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening. I picked a great spot, you know?